Hi guys! In today's video, we're going to be learning how to use assignments to distribute work to our learners. Now, assignment is a really easy and useful way of distributing work, and it's really effective because it helps learners to stick to a schedule and understand what tasks need to be completed and by when. So it really helps them to timetable their work, and in some cases could completely replace the need for us to type out daily timetables. So assignments is accessed through Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to go to my team here, and all I need to do to start with is just go to assignments. Now, there are two main types of assignment you can create. There are general assignments, and then there are quizzes, which we'll look at towards the end of this video. To start with, we're going to look at general assignments. Now, to start with, it helps if you have some sort of content that you're wanting to share with your learners. This could be in the form of a Word document with lesson content and instructions and a place for your learners to work. It could be in the form of a PowerPoint with information that you want your learners to pay attention to. Or better yet, it could be in the form of a class notebook page. Now, there's a particular lesson that I'm wanting to share from the class notebook, but to start with, let's have a wee look at how we create content to share and assign through the class notebook. So if I'm wanting to share an assignment from the class notebook, I first come to the class notebook and I'm going to click on the bookshelf here. I'm going to go to the content library, and within the content library, I've added a section called literacy. In the literacy section, I've created some lesson plans that I'm wanting to share. So I've got a reading plan and a poetry plan that I'm wanting to share with my learners. Now, the great thing about Class Notebook that makes it better than just sharing, say, a Word document is that you can add additional features to it. So as well as just typing up the instructions and maybe writing some tips and showing a waggle and a wabble and that sort of thing, I can also include audio instructions for my learners. So if they were maybe having trouble accessing this amount of writing, they can just click on the audio recording that I've created here and I will read out the instructions to them. Additionally, it's very easy to include video links. All you need to do is just copy in a YouTube video link and it will automatically embed that video into your page and your learners can watch it just by clicking on it there. So there's an awful lot of versatility there. Furthermore though, if you have learners that maybe find accessing this amount of text to be a little bit tricky, you can use the function called Immersive Reader. So by clicking on a section of text, you can go to View and then Immersive Reader, and then Immersive Reader will then read out that section of text.
Last time you came up with a range of similes and metaphors based on things you could see from your window.
So this is a really great accessibility tool that helps your learners access the curriculum. So I've decided I want to share that as an assignment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an assignment. I'm going to put in the title. I'm feeling unimaginative. I'm just going to call it a poetry task. I could put my learning intention in the instructions and I could type additional instructions in there. And then, importantly, I have to click Add Resources. And the resource that I'm going to add is that particular class notebook page. Now, if you don't feel comfortable using class notebook, you don't have to. You could use a Word document or a PowerPoint or something that you feel more comfortable with. But I'm going to go to the class notebook and I'm going to find that particular page that I created. It'll then ask me where I want the learner to complete that work within their own class notebook, and I've given them 3 sections to their class notebook, and I obviously want them to complete this work in the literacy section. So that page will now be dropped into their own class notebook. They'll be able to edit their own copy, so they could type their own poem into that class notebook, or even if they wanted to, they could handwrite out their poem in a jotter, take a picture of it, and then post that picture onto the class notebook. So it's really, really easy to use. Additionally to this though, and this is where assignments really comes into its own, we can add marking schemes. So I'm going to add a rubric that I created earlier, and these are really, really easy to create. I created a poetry success criteria earlier, and that looks something like this. So I've got the success criteria down the side, and I've got additional criteria that I can then mark their work against. Now, in terms of tracking and assessment, this is a fantastically useful tool. So when it comes time to mark it, I can just click on what level they've achieved within each one of the success criteria, and they'll be given that straight away as feedback. I could even attach additional audio notes if I felt the need to. So I'm going to attach that rubric. I'm going to say that it needs to be done by, this is fictitious, but we'll say Monday, and I can just assign it. Next, we'll see what it looks like from a learner's eye view. So as a learner, I can obviously see that my teacher has posted several different assignments here. But if I want to view all of them and see what I actually have to complete and by when, I just go to the Assignments tab. And straight away there, I can see all of the work that's been scheduled for me. So I can see that these two tasks need to be completed urgently by today, and I've got a little bit longer to complete these two tasks. So from a learner's point of view, it's a really easy way of organizing their work schedule. And all I need to do to view the tasks is click on them, and I can then see the My Work section here. So if I actually want to go and do this work, I can click on the My Work section. If I want to see what the marking criteria is, I can click on that rubric to see the success criteria. And then once I've completed my work, all I need to do is click Hand In, and it will automatically be submitted to the teacher. Lastly then, we're going to have a quick look at creating quizzes. Now, quizzes can be particularly handy because they're often self-marking. It's a great way of learners getting instant feedback on their work. Now, I've created a couple of quizzes earlier, but let's look at how to create a new quiz. So this is our untitled quiz at the moment. I could add my own title there if I felt the need. And if I want to add a new question, I click on Add New, and I can have it as a multiple choice question, a text input, ratings. There's various other options that I can use. I'm just going to create a multiple choice quiz, and all I need to do is type a question in here. Once I've got my questions, I can then give potential answers. Once I've given all my potential answers, I can then select what the right answer is. So the correct answer clearly for this question is option D. However, I can then also give a message to anyone who clicks on that particular answer. So if I wanted to give particular feedback, if someone got the wrong answer or the right answer, I could have that come up anytime they click on that answer. I can then add additional questions and create as short or as long a quiz as I feel the need to. When I'm done, I return to the team, go to assignments, and I can now see that I can assign that untitled quiz that I just created. And my learners will then have that posted to them. So I can assign the quiz title, I can say when it needs to be done by, all the usual features that we saw before. All I need to do is click Assign. Now at the moment, obviously, these have just been assigned and I can see that no one has handed any of these assignments in yet, but as soon as they do, I'll see it in the return section and I can then go through it and give feedback and track and assess those assignments. So that's it, guys. It really is that easy, and I really think that it's a fantastic tool that we should be capitalizing on at this time. Cheers, guys!